morning, everyone. So today we're going to start with our mindful bodies. Sitting up, straight and tall. Rest our hands where we feel comfortable, our anchor spot. Gently close our eyes. We're going to breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And just notice how your body feels today. Notice the rise and fall of your breath. Do you notice the sounds around you? And just keep breathing at your normal, relaxed pace. And I invite you to listen to the sound of the bell. And you can gently open your eyes when you feel comfortable. So again, we're reading another Pete the Cat story. So we're going to do our mindful movement of our cow and cat seated position. Hands on your knees. And we're going to breathe in as we arch forward. Breathe out. Really feel the stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, so I hope that felt well today. Again, if sometimes it hurts if you're doing it too much, you don't have to do quite as deep or as long. You can just do a little one. Breathe in. Breathe out. But the more stretch you can do, kind of sometimes the better. So depends on you, on your body. You know your body more than anyone else. So today we're going to read our story again on the screen. So enjoy the story and I'll see you when we are done. Today we're reading Pete the Cat and the Bedtime Blues, written and illustrated by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete and the gang had a great day. They'd been at the beach, surf and sun, and tons of fun. But when the sun went down, they didn't want the fun to end. So Pete had an idea. Hey, how about a sleepover? More time for tons of fun. Groovy, said Alligator. Pete's place, let's go. The party was far out, but they knew they couldn't stay up all night. The gang decided it was time to say goodnight. On went the pajamas and out went the light. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete was just about to catch some Z's when clap, clap, clap. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Grumpy Toad. I don't want to go to bed. I want to clap instead. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Time to sleep. Pete tried to catch some Z's when rat-a-tat-tat. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Gus the platypus. I don't want to go to bed. I want to jam instead. Pete covered his head. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete closed his eyes to catch some Z's when he heard munch, munch, munch. Pete had a hunch. It was Alligator. He was always up for eating. What could Pete do? All the clap, clap, clapping and the rat-a-tat-tatting and the munching was giving him the bedtime blues. But Pete had a groovy idea. He got out his favorite bedtime story and started to read, first to himself and then to the gang. Pete noticed it was finally quiet. There was no more clap, clap, clapping, no more rat-a-tat-tatting, and no more munching. They all settled down. No one made a sound. Pete yawned and turned off the light. Good night, sleep tight. It's time to catch some Z's. Tomorrow was another day for surfing, sun, and tons of fun. The end. So I hope you enjoyed Pete the Cat and the Bedtime Blues. Is there ever sometimes, do you have trouble falling asleep? I do, a lot. I have trouble falling asleep a lot. So sometimes, actually, most of the time, if I want to sleep well, I have a whole routine that I have to do. I have a bedtime routine. So I almost always need to take a shower or a bath. The warm water and the steam, I don't know, it relaxes me. I use lavender, the smell of lavender while I'm in the shower. And when I get out, I slather myself with this lavender oil stuff and it smells so good and it makes me feel good. And then I sit here and I do my mindful moments before I go to bed. And then I go to bed and I read. So reading a book in bed is such a great way for me to, I don't know, just kind of separate a little bit, let my brain relax, let my brain go into another world. And so that's my bedtime routine. It takes me almost an hour every night to go through all of that. What about you? Do you have a bedtime routine? Do you have your family? Do you guys do story time or anything that's normal? If not, I encourage you to try. Try to create a bedroom routine, a bedtime routine, and see if you like it. Just try it out for a week or two. Our bodies and our minds, if we kind of cue our body in to being able to go to sleep, it really helps. Oh, also, I stop looking at any screens at least 2 hours before I go to bed. So I always try to make sure my phone is put away, I don't watch TV, I don't go on my iPad or anything at least 2 hours before bed, just to kind of disconnect my brain from all of that. So not everyone has to do that, but that's what works for me. So try to figure out this week with your family, what's your bedtime routine? What can you do? Maybe create it together. Write something down or draw pictures of what your ideal bedtime routine would look like. So for that, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Sweet dreams when you go to bed tonight, and I will see you tomorrow.